Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. We're so glad that you join us every Thursday as we talk about cancer. And today we're going to talk about something really very interesting, hot off our COVID-19 pandemic that for the last 2 years where we are inundated with mRNA vaccines, right? So let's welcome Dr. Jansen again as he shares with us on the topic of cancer vaccines.
Hello Sean, hello everyone, glad to be here again. So we're going to be talking all about cancers that can be prevented by vaccination. Okay?
Wow, Doc, it's a crazy concept. I think for many viewers out there, that's a strange concept that we can be vaccinated against cancer. But it's already been around for a long time.
For a long time, decades now.
Wow, so share with us what cancers can actually be vaccinated. And you see I'm smiling today because that's good news, right?
That's good news.
That's good news.
Now, just to give you an idea, so currently what we have is the HPV virus vaccine, so human papilloma virus vaccine, and the Hepatitis B vaccine, Hepatitis B virus vaccine. Okay, so those two vaccines. Now, currently, the type of cancer that we can develop vaccines for are cancers that can be caused by viruses. Okay, so because we can create vaccines for viruses just like what we did with the COVID-19. Yeah, so it's the same principle. Now, currently we only have two that is currently in the market. So we have the HPV vaccine. So HPV directly causes cervical cancer, vulvar cancer, vaginal cancer, okay, and even penile cancer, okay, for men, right? Also, and then the Hepatitis B virus vaccine, that one causes chronic hepatitis B infection, okay, or chronic hepatitis. Chronic hepatitis. Now, chronic hepatitis, once it's been there and untreated, you can develop liver cirrhosis, then eventually hepatocellular carcinoma or liver cancer. Okay, so first let's discuss the first one, which is the HPV vaccine. Okay, so HPV vaccine, the ones that we currently have are directed to select HPV viruses, select subtypes of HPV which can cause cancer. Okay,
so the cervical, vulvar, vaginal, and other precancers.
Yes, and the vaccine efficacy against those is 100%.
Wow, you're totally vaccinated.
Yeah.
Totally protected.
Totally protected 100%.
Could everybody just go for a HPV vaccine?
I would, because having cervical cancer, having penile cancer, having vulvar cancer, once you have that, I mean, you're going to be undergoing a lot of emotional stress, a lot of financial stress, a lot of physical stress, because you're going to undergo surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and it's always at the back of your mind, am I going to survive this? Am I going to live even though I underwent such procedures? So, I mean, by getting a vaccine, you free yourself from those from that turmoil. Let's now discuss the survival rate. No, once you decide not to get vaccinated, and then eventually you had cervical cancer, or you now currently have
guys, penile cancer. Oh, that's so scary, right?
But let's focus on cervical cancer. So here's the 5-year survival rate for cervical cancer. If it's localized, 92% survival rate. So you're going to live, yes.
Yes.
But once cervical cancer
spreads
regionally, once it spreads to the pelvis, to the pelvic area, then your survival rate decreases to 58%. And if it metastasizes, distant metastasis, it can metastasize to the bones, the liver, to the colon, elsewhere, no? Then your survival rate decreases to 15%.
Wow,
right? That's a huge chunk. Right?
Doc, for the HPV virus, right? Since it's a virus, I think one of the first questions that popped into my mind is where or how can we get exposed to the virus? I mean, where is HPV viruses found? Because after 2 years of learning how to run away from COVID, maybe that's a strategy, not be exposed to it. So where does HPV viruses?
It's the men who are carriers of this.
Oh, and where do we get it from?
From men having sex with men, or men having sex with females who are infected.
So it's really true, sexually transmitted.
Sexual intercourse.
So if you are a responsible, sexually active person, then you can
Yeah.
eliminate your chances of getting this also. Yeah. So
Okay.
be responsible.
Okay, so next let's discuss the scheduling. No, so how do we schedule the HPV vaccines? How should you receive it? Okay, so there are 3 types currently in the market. We have Cervarix, Gardasil, and Gardasil 9. Now, what's the difference between those? It's actually the number of the number of HPV subtypes that you get protected against. For Cervarix, it's bivalent, meaning it protects you against 2 subtypes. Okay. For Gardasil, it's 4. For Gardasil 9, it's 9. Okay,
Wow.
9 subtypes. Now, depending on the age, there are certain vaccines that will be preferred depending on the age. Okay, so for Cervarix, if you are age 9 to 25 years old, yeah, you can receive this. And the schedule is 016, or you get 3 doses. Okay, so you get 1 dose this month, okay, on the day of vaccination, and then you get it 1 month after and 6 months after the first vaccine. Okay, so that's how you go about it when you receive Cervarix. For Gardasil, it's different. For Gardasil, it's between 9 to 26 years of age, quite similar to Cervarix, but the scheduling is different. So for Gardasil, it's going to be 026. So the first you get vaccinated on the day of the you receive Gardasil the day of vaccination, then you receive 2 months later, and then 6 months later. Okay, for Gardasil 9, the scheduling is the same for Gardasil, for the plain Gardasil, but this has a wider age group. So you can for our
9 to
audience,
45
so
years
that's
old.
9 to 45. So for middle-aged men and women who still wants to get vaccinated against HPV, this is the effective one, Gardasil 9. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting. So if your lifestyle makes you at risk, then that's a very good reason to go and get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. Yeah. So next is HPV, or the Hepatitis B virus. Okay. So Hepatitis B, just what I have mentioned a while ago, is the virus that causes chronic hepatitis. Chronic hepatitis left untreated will lead to liver cirrhosis. Then once you have liver cirrhosis, you will develop hepatocellular carcinoma. So how long does this process take effect? Decades.
Oh, decades.
Yeah, decades. So usually, let's say for example, a childbirth, no? Usually, a hepatitis B virus can be acquired through vertical transmission. That means when your mom gave birth to you, or you got it from eating, dirty food. Okay.
I was about to ask, how do you catch hepatitis B virus?
Food, fecal-oral transmission. Fecal-oral.
So, that's why clams and oysters, because they often eat human fecal waste that are pumped into the.
Yeah. Then you don't clean it. It's uncooked.
Which is how we like to eat the.
Yes. Yeah. It can also be transmitted in the fishball style. Street foods as well. You can get it from street food.
So that means the saliva from one Hep B carrier to another.
So you can it can be transmitted in that way.
Okay.
So from that until when you get old, I mean 70s, that's the time when you get hepatocellular carcinoma or liver cancer. Okay?
So it's actually caused by a virus you caught 20 years ago.
Decades ago, yeah.
So halfway through the process, can you stop it? I mean, does the vaccine? I forgot to ask, like for the cervical HPV vaccination, right? Does it work as a treatment?
No, it works as a prevention. But once you already have cervical cancer, it cannot be used as a treatment.
Okay, then what about this Hep B thing?
Hep B thing, it's also used as a prevention.
Oh, so first of all, before I go for the Hep B vaccine, I have to test whether I'm hepatitis B positive. Because I could be, right? Because who knows? I could have been born by it, but I did not know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to get tested. It's easy. Blood work.
Why are we not all vaccinated against this? Because I remember when I was younger, there was a period of time where hepatitis B was such a big thing, like everybody.
It's government mandated that everybody should be vaccinated against hepatitis B.
Or here in Philippines,
Yeah,
it's
here in
compulsory.
Philippines, yeah, it's compulsory. Once
Okay.
you get born into the world, yeah, you immediately receive this. So there are two vaccines that you receive once you're born: BCG and Hep B.
Okay, I got my BCG. I don't know whether I got my Hep B or
Hep B.
not. All right,
Yeah,
in
you have
Singapore,
to-
I got
you
my
have to check.
BCG.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
have to check.
so most Filipinos are
Most Filipinos
the ones
are-
that are registered properly will be vaccinated already against this cancer.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how it is.
I'm tempted to check my vaccination records
Yeah,
to see.
I think you should because the immune system, the antibodies against hepatitis B virus wanes over time as well. But it takes decades to wane. I think if I remember correctly, I think it wanes in 20 years time.
Okay.
It's a very, very long time. But you should get your booster if you have a chance.
Yeah,
when
especially
you're-
if you like to eat
Yeah.
all these clams and cockles.
Yes.
Clams and cockles.
Okay, so next, let's discuss about the 5-year survival rate of liver cancer. What
Woo!
happens now when you develop liver cancer?
Wow,
okay?
liver cancer is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, especially if left untreated. Okay, so for localized liver cancer, the 5-year survival rate is 35%. If it goes regional, from the liver, it spreads to the gallbladder, for example, or it spreads to the intestine, to the lungs, to the adrenals. Then, it's going to be 12% 5-year survival rate. And if it's distant, if the liver cancer, let's say for example, it's spread to the heart, to the brain, that's going to be a 3% survival rate. So it's really quite low. But for this to happen, you should already be very, 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 very sick because of the liver cirrhosis in the first place.
Okay, so the moment you get liver cirrhosis, you should be doing something about
Yeah.
it.
Okay, but in order for you to survive liver cancer, it's really easy. You just have to resect that part of the liver. There are a lot of procedures that does it. So the number one is resection. Okay, if it's gone, then you will have a very good chance of survival. Then number two is liver transplant. Okay, liver transplant is the 100% curative choice because you replace even the cirrhotic part of the liver. You have a functioning liver again. Right?
Doc, for transplant patients, I've read that transplant patients in general have a reduced lifespan.
Yeah.
Is it true for liver as well? Because liver is a very regenerative organ. So does it assimilate better than, for example, a kidney-like transplant? Or
When it comes to livers, if you receive the liver transplant, of course you'll have a shorter lifespan because
okay,
the liver is not yours.
It's not yours. All
It's
right.
not yours. So we still have to consider transplant reactions, right? In the background of you getting your liver sick in the first place. Okay, so but in terms of lifespan, of course, once you get a new liver, your lifespan immediately will be restored. But of course, it's not as good as with
The
your old
original.
liver, as the original liver. Okay, so so some other treatments, liver transplant, resection, ablation or microwave ablation. That is also one of the mainstay procedures that you can use. Microwave ablation is minimally invasive. So they just poke 2 needles in your liver. Then that's it. You can once you get the procedure done today, you can go home the following day. Okay.
Doc, I just wanted to know if liver cancer can be treated with all these procedures. Why is the localized 5-year survival rate so low and the distant survival rate so low? Is it because people ignore it? But it can't be, right? Localized alone, so why is it so tough compared to colorectal cancer or prostate?
It's because of the background history of liver cirrhosis.
So because of that, you already have lots of health problems.
For that to happen, you already have a lot of
you
health
could die from
problems.
liver cirrhosis.
You could die because liver cirrhosis is the end stage. And that's already end stage. That's already
Your liver's about to give up.
Your liver's about to fail already. So with that alone, your body is not as healthy anymore. And of course, for this to happen, you also have to take into consideration the age. Okay, so people who have this sort of disease process, they are usually elderly, and not the young elderly, not the 60s elderly. These are 70s, 80s. Okay, so with that alone, of course, I mean, if you're already 70 years old, I mean, 5 years more.
You'll be 75 or 80, right?
Yeah,
So
you'll be
already
75 or
pushing
80,
it.
yeah. So more often than not, people already pass away at this age group. Yeah. Okay, so that's the reason why. So it's a confounding factor. Okay.
But the good news, we at Simply Nature, we actually tested our PPARs on liver cancer. So we found out that it actually helps in cellular apoptosis. Your liver cancer cells actually start to die off on themselves, especially if you increase the dosage, and this is for the liquid extract. And for the underlying liver cirrhosis, for those of us who do not know, I'm going to let you know now, Simply Nature, even the basic tablets are great liver aids, So that's how effective it is as a liver aid. And if you want to know if you have liver cirrhosis and you want to know a treatment that's complementary with whatever medical treatment, conventional medicine you're taking, with no contraindications, just make a consult with Dr. Jansen, because our Simply Nature protocols is extremely effective for liver issues. And the liver is one of the most regenerative organs.
Yeah.
So if you help it, it will get well.
It will get well. It will get well, guaranteed. I mean, as long as it's not at the point of no return. So the point of no return is liver cirrhosis, because once you have liver cirrhosis, that's irreversible. It cannot be reversed already. Okay? You have to save what's left of your liver. Alright? Please don't wait until it goes to that point.
So, Doc, any last words before we move to the AMA Ask Me Anything segment?
Yeah. Since we are talking about cancer vaccines here, no? So, getting vaccinated for these two types of cancer, which are really with bad prognosis. I mean, getting vaccinated is a simple solution. I mean, although vaccines, HPV vaccine is cheap. I mean, it's given by the government even.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can get vaccinated for
and
free.
the Hep B one, you probably already are vaccinated.
Yeah. And most probably for those of us who are the younger generations, no, Gen X, Z, and the millennials. Gen Y, X, and Z. Most of us are already vaccinated with hepatitis, but for the boomers, usually they are still not, okay? But even so, they can still get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right? So
test for yourself.
Please do. Now, for the HPV vaccine, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. You're going to spend a little bit more expensive. But what is 15,000 to 20,000 against a security that you won't get cervical cancer or penile cancer or whatever cancer that involves that involves your sensitive area, okay?
Yes.
That involves your best friend in the future. Okay?
And no moral judgment here, but if your lifestyle is going to put you at great risk, right? Because HPV virus is sexually transmitted.
Yes.
It's one thing to get syphilis, it's another thing to get cancer from sexual activity. So this is definitely worth something deep consideration, and we will definitely encourage you if your lifestyle puts you at risk. So might as well go and get vaccinated for that. And you will protect your partner as well in a sense, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to, we see all the questions coming up. Let's go to our AMA Ask Me Anything segment.